This house abolishes primary and middle school years that group children based on age and instead group them by competency and intelligence. This is an important aspect in efforts to create an inclusive educational environment and support students' psychosocial development. This is because the true curriculum is designed for students to compete based on their ability, not based on their age. In age-based groups, a student who is naturally younger in his class may feel anxious compared to his older classmate, of course. They can feel socially stigmatized or inferior. In fact, if he has more abilities than his peers, he will feel that there is something wrong with me, even though in reality is not like that. This is how I support grouping based on ability and eliminate grouping based on age. Before that, 3 points that I will explain. First one is primary and middle school years. This refers to the initial period of education which students receive primary and lower secondary education. Primary school usually starts around age 6, whereas middle school starts around age 12. The second one is competency. This refers to a person's ability, skill, or knowledge in doing something. And the third one is ability. This means to completely stop or eliminating something. In the context of this motion, abolish means completely ending the practice of classifying students by age at the primary and middle school years, which is the initial stage of formal education for children aged 6 to 11. Is grouping of children is based on their competency and intelligence, which refers to their level of skill and understanding in various subjects. Grouping them by competency and intelligence apply for the primary and middle schools only because these are the earliest educational stage in student development and most require adaptation, right? At this stage, students are building a foundation of knowledge and skill that will shape their future academic development. 3 things that we need to defend. The first one is the current education system focuses on grouping students based on their age at the primary and middle school. This is common practice in many countries. We can also recognize that there are varying abilities and level of intelligence among students that may not always reflect their age. Sometimes younger students may have very high academic abilities while older students may have challenges in this regard. Secondly, under the proposition theme, we want to create a world where children's education gets a more adaptive learning experience and focus on developing their potential. In this world, student groupings are no longer limited by their age, but are based on their individual competence and intelligence. This will allow each child to progress at their own pace in the subjects they are good at, regardless of their age, where every child feels valued and encouraged to be the best in their field without feeling of inferiority that may arise due to grouping based on age. With this change, we can advance education towards a future that is more inclusive, equitable, and supports the optional development of every child. And the last one, as a proposition theme, I support this motion because in this way, before students are grouped on their abilities, there will be a test to know each of their levels. 3 points. First one, students will take an assessment to assess their level of ability and intelligence. This assessment may include things like tests, project assignment, or other relevant assessment. And the second one is students will be grouped into classes or learning programs according to their assessment results. This can result in classes that have students with varying abilities levels. And the third one is the curriculum will be adapted to the needs and abilities of students in each group. Students who are quicker learners may be given more challenging materials, while students who need adaptational support will receive appropriate help. 2 arguments coming from the proposition term. First, this will lead to curriculum flexibility that is made, and the second one is this will make the students' preparation for the real world. Moving the first argument, this will lead to curriculum flexibility. Grouping based on competencies allows flexibility in the science in the curriculum, which is an important aspect to support effective education that meets student potential. The curriculum is made for students to compete based on their ability, not based on their age, of course. 2 points. Firstly, in competency based on grouping, teachers can design a more challenging curriculum for students who are highly gifted in a particular subject. For example, if a student is very advanced math, they can take more advanced math courses, and if they are still at the elementary level, this will make the teacher pay more attention to one level that student has rather than focusing on different levels. Secondly, it can inspire and motivate students to pursue their interests and potential more seriously. Students who do not really understand the level of difficulty of a subject in their class will not waste time being in the class. Students who face difficulties in a subject can receive additional support that is more appropriate to their level of ability. And also, the students who have achieved higher academic level will not waste their time in classes below them. They will also compete with friends who have the same level of ability, where this will make them more enthusiastic about competing. And the second argument then, preparation for the real world. Grouping based on competency and intelligence in the early stage of education, such as elementary school and junior high schools, will influence students' future readiness. First point, more optical capacity development. Grouping based on competency allows students to develop their abilities at a more optional level. Students who are talented in a subject can pursue their interests more seriously and reach their maximum potential. This creates a stronger foundation of knowledge and skills for their academic advancement at higher levels such as high school and college. Thus, they are better prepared to face future academic challenges. And the second one is understanding of personal skills. Grouping by competency helps students to recognize and understand their personal skills better. This helps them discover their true interests and talents. In turn, this understanding can help students make better educational and career decisions in the future. They will have better visibility into that they are good and what they enjoy, which can shape their educational and career choices. And the last point is social and collaborative skill. Competency-based grouping also prepares students to interact and work with individuals of varying skill levels. This helps in the development of social collaboration and problem-solving skills that are important in the real world, right? In the future, when students enter the work world or participate in team projects involving different age groups and backgrounds, they will feel better equipped to adapt and contribute positively. So, grouping based on competency and intelligence in the early stage of education can have a significant impact on the students' readiness to face future challenges, both academically and socially. I'm very proud to propose.